First, obviously, want to, always good in our exhibition games. We like to play, a local team, and I think, we played a good one today. St. Louis, they got a chance to be really good. New coach, guy does, obviously does a really good job. Has had great success, and I got some veteran players. Put us in a tough position in that last 8 minutes of the first half with some of our foul trouble, and kind of got disjointed on offense with the lineups and stuff that we had in, to their credit. So, but I thought first 8 minutes of the game and the first 8 minutes of the second half, we did some really good things. Shared the ball, moved the ball. Defensively, that was probably, those two segments were our best, but it was a kind of an inconsistent game, which sometimes you get in your exhibition games as you're playing a lot of guys and giving guys, different opportunities in different spots. So it was good to play. We'll be able to evaluate the film, and sometimes teaching points are easier to make when you're competing against someone else than if you're just using practice. So I thought you saw some guys that have made some strides in their game, and now we need to keep moving forward.
Coach, last season turnovers was a bugaboo for the team. And tonight, 20 against a team that really didn't apply heavy ball pressure.
Right.
How would you describe your concern about the turnovers?
I think Tom Cruise, grave. You said grave. No, grave concern. It's important. We got to do a better job taking care of the ball. It's one of our key points. Something that we knew we had to do a better job if we want to make the strides as a team. And 20 turnovers or 18 turnovers is too many. We were 12th in the league last year in turnovers. You can't expect to be successful and have that. So it's an area that we have to get better in. There are turnovers you can live with and turnovers you can't. Our guards handle the ball a lot. They're both very, very aggressive. There's a lot of positives that come with their driving and getting the ball into the paint. So you got to live with some of their turnovers. We got to make sure we don't have footwork turnovers, one-hand catches turnovers, trying to make plays that are difficult. Talked to the guys this week about, football season, getting first downs, not touchdowns. First downs will lead to touchdowns. And it's just something that we got to, stay focused on and keep getting better at. But it's a concern because we do so many things well that that eliminates some of the positives. Like, we forced 21 turnovers today, okay? But we don't get as much value out of it because we coughed it up 18 times ourselves.
Coach, what did you see from Jameer and BJ that you liked tonight?
I thought both guys played a little better the second time they went in. You could tell they were, hearts were racing as freshmen, which is, so when you couple that with the close scrimmage that we had, I thought we saw some flashes out of them. They're both, I'm excited about both those guys. The program's in a different place right now. 2 years ago, those guys would have, been playing a lot more minutes right now. But they both have physical issues that Jameer needs to get stronger to become the player we want him to be. BJ needs to continue to condition and get stronger to be the player that we need him to be. But I think both those guys have a bright future. And again, we're in a different position now where we can look at the big picture instead of just today on both those guys.
I know you said earlier that Jameer is probably one of the most complete athletes that you have on this team. Justin Brown just came up here and said it himself. What can we expect from him going forward? Can we expect him to push into the starting five maybe toward the end of the season?
Well, that's a long way away.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a long way away. I just worry about today, right now. You know what I mean? And he played much better the second round that he was in. But, he made, a freshman mistake. The ball is up top, and he's just watching the ball, and the guy back cuts for a layup. Those are we're at a point now where 2 years, you can kind of play through that. We're at a different spot right now.
You do a lot of mixing and matching tonight. Anything specifically you were looking for just in terms of your lineup?
No, we wanted to see, we played, 3 guards out there quite a bit, which I think is going to be good for us. With X and Q and David and Zach, we have some multiple ball handlers and guys that can make some plays. We wanted to get Zach about 15 minutes, so that was good. And then those other guys played a little more minutes because we didn't finish out the half the way we wanted to finish out the half. I think, were we up 16 or something like that in the first half at one point? So now they got to play a little more. But I thought that group, that starting group responded really well to start the second half, So when we bring guys off the bench, it's imperative that they really not only play well, but are really disciplined to playing the way we're supposed to play. And if we can do that, then they'll give us a big lift.
You mentioned Zach. I know you said the other day about how he hadn't played in 2 years. He made some nice plays in traffic early on.
Yep.
What did you think of his performance in his limited time?
No, it's good. Well, he played 14 minutes, so I wouldn't call it limited.
Sure.
I think he did some good things. You can see, again, he's a very talented player, and he's offensively gifted. He needs to, continue to get in the gym and become a little more consistent with his perimeter shooting. But he's got a great ability with his athletic ability and his craftiness around the basket to finish. He is a guy that is a willing passer as well. Like all new guys, it takes him a while to play at the intensity level on the defensive end that he needs to play at. But the one thing he did, he got 4 defensive rebounds. So from David, Q, and him, you get 8, 9, 10 defensive rebounds. That's good. That allows you, Joey, to play smaller at times if those guys are still going to be physical enough on the defensive glass.
Michael had a double-double tonight. What has he shown you since the time you recruited him to today?
The one, I don't want to say I'm surprised, pleasantly surprised. He really works on his game. He's here every morning. Him and X are most consistent, but Mike is as consistent as anybody in terms of coming in extra and working on his game. And he is driven to become a better player. He was driven to become a better free throw shooter, to shoot the ball better. He's driven in the weight room. He had as good a summer in the weight room as anybody, as you saw tonight. He's much stronger, much more physical, much more explosive. And the one thing he's doing, he's maturing a little bit. There's never been a post player that's ever played that got the ball as much as they would like. Let's just say they never do. Every time they're open, they want the ball, which is a good thing. But a lot of young post players, if they don't get it, then they don't do anything else, and the possession is done. The one thing is, Mike's learned that keep working to get the ball, but then he turns around and gets 4 offensive rebounds. You got to have the mentality, okay, if I don't get it, I'll get it off the rim. And those are steps in his maturation that have been impressive to me.
Lex was a healthy scratch tonight, right?
Yeah, he's practiced the last 3 days, but he missed the 5 days previous. So I just want him to get a good, solid week of work in before we put him out there.
What do you want to see most out of your team between now and the opener?
We got to tighten up some of our offensive execution. I still say, beat a dead horse. We got to take care of the ball. You know what I mean? We got to take care of the ball. And we got to, contend. I thought we made a big step in some of our defensive concepts from the close scrimmage till tonight. Especially with the returning guys. So we got to make sure that we continue to do that. Because if we can hold teams to 38% and force 21 turnovers, then we'll be in competitive situations. Now, if we can get a little better on some of the other stuff. You know, again, we shot 9 for 23 from the 3, 39%. We're gonna take that every night, you know. And JB was really good from there, obviously. You know, so we just, and then X is, you know, another guy who's really worked on that offensive aspect, so he shot the ball better as well. All good? All right.